Hey guys, today's segment is going to be about if you should allow skipping the line. If a customer comes in and they ask you, hey, I really need this to have repaired. This is expedited. Take care of me. Should you allow that to happen? And before I answer, I just want to take a step back. If you're a public company, you might be really just stuck with protocols or board of directors telling you what to do. They might say, this is the way, allow them to skip the line for $100. Or this might not be the way, they have to follow the queue. That's why I love being a private company. We have autonomy. We can decide what we want to do. And then for me, yes, we have a guide, we have protocols, but end of the day, it's all about helping people, albeit it sounds easy, but that's how we got into this business many years ago, the philosophy of helping people. So that sort of guides us with every decision, right? So when I look at these boxes in back of us with our queue, the question is, what do we do? Somebody comes in, you know, there's many types of people. There might be that person that, and let's just think top of our heads, he might be the asshole. He might be the type of guy that says, I need this done now. I have lots of stuff to do. I'm so important. Time is money. I'll give you this. Just take care of it, no matter what. We all know what we think about folks like that. If you're not a good person, it's not nice to just bully your way through. And again, when looking at somebody, I don't look at the person coming in who has a need. I look at these boxes in back of me and I think about all of these people that are waiting in the line. It's like Disney World. People come in, you have the queue, and then you also have a fast pass. Now, I'm not a believer in fast pass, although I love fast pass. I've used fast pass. I have a family, I have kids. I don't want them to wait. And in that realm, you're not totally skipping the line. You have a smaller line. Anyway, I'm digressing, but getting back to the point here, it's a personality thing. It's somebody coming in, he's looking to bully us, got lots of money. I don't care where you work, but if he's the type of guy that feels like gets his way every time, I'm going to think twice about allowing this person to skip the line, especially if he's acting like this now. Imagine how he's going to act afterwards. What if for some reason he can't fix it? If he's asking for something that is beyond fixing, if there were so many issues, if he's not going to listen to your recommendations, you have to think about that. On the flip side, if you have somebody coming in that is a student, they have a paper that they have to get out tomorrow, the files are on the computer. That's the only way they can get to it. You have to pick some motherboards where there's a drive that's built into the board on, say, a MacBook, and we need to get it in order to help them out. I may not, I'm going to let them maybe skip the line. I felt like what? Because you know what? I see that genuine need. It's a need. They need to succeed. It's not a want. It's to be able to chunk others. Now, if you do decide to go ahead and let somebody just hit the line, what kind of method should you take? How much should you take? What's the process? So I'm a big believer that if you let somebody skip the line, what's an expedited fee? I think $100 is something that's reasonable. If you're allowing them to skip a line and say like 40 boxes that's sitting in the front row, but when doing so, have terms. If it's a hard job, if it's a job that they're asking that might not be able to be done, if it's a MacBook M2 and it's a processor issue, and it's like, it could take a couple hours to a half a day and it might not be doable. Maybe ask them to pay in advance and maybe ask them to pay no matter what. This is the time it takes for an expedited fee. This is your non-refundable fee, $100 or whatever it might be. And if it's fixed or not fixed, you take it. This is the cost of speeding up your affair and giving you this clarity. So that's one way. Another way is you could lump on to the repair costs to say if it's going to be guaranteed. Say they're looking to see if they could recover files from an external drive and they want you to check it out right away. But they're only going to pay if anything gets the files. Okay. It's up to you. You have to make a judgment call. Again, if this is somebody that, God forbid, it's really time sensitive. Say there's a funeral, sadly, for a family member, and they want to do the speech the next day. That speech that they've been working on, crying over, is on that laptop, and they need it. If you see that genuine need, I recommend go for it. Help them out. And then if they can see if you have the files end of the day, great. Tack on like maybe an extra, or don't tack on anything. There are times that we just do it and we don't charge anything if we see that somebody's really desperate and they're needed. And you know what? We are grateful that we have a chance to basically be here and have the skill set and the technology to help them. So there are times that we don't charge at all, and we just let them skip the line if they're in like some dire straits or needs and really need to take care of something. So that's pretty much the gist of it. I don't want to go too deep into it, but I just wanted to shed some light on how we handle it. Obviously, it might not be the right way for you. You might want to have a cookie cutter way, especially if you're building out a massive team nationwide. Eventually, you might have to